If you come to this location in Fallout 4, you can discover an abandoned house filled with ghouls, and it has a quite interesting story to tell that ends with the creation of the first ever pre-war ghoul. So stick around, sit back and relax, and I'll tell you the story. As we enter the house, we find a lot of feral ghouls, some dead, some aren't. If we clear them, we can find this holotape on the kitchen counter, detailing the beginning of the experiment.
Entry 3, recorded by Research Assistant Peters on February 26, 2077. Time, it's 12:35 hours. Subject's direct radiation exposure level increased to 2 sieverts per 24 hours. Intravenous fluid intake increased to 1 liter. Subject reports localized pain in frontal and parietal lobe, accompanied by severe nausea, with vomiting on average, 3 to 6 instances per 12 hours. Solid food no longer viable by oral intake. Other symptoms include general weakness in limbs, bleeding of gums, severe abdominal cramps, and diarrhea. Dark stool indicates possibility of intestinal bleeding. Shortness of breath also an issue. I will now describe changes in mood, or thought process. I have never in my life felt as horrible as I do right now. The discomfort is almost too much to bear. I often contemplate termination of this trial. But I know it'll only be a few more days before I reach 6 sieverts. Then I can administer the serum. We'll get our contract renewed. Serum will go to the market, and it's going to help people. It's really going to change the way we live. And me, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Cyclical thoughts. No other developments to report.
So as we heard there, she was conducting a voluntary experiment where she had injected herself with extreme levels of radiation in order to test a new cure for toxic levels of radiation. As we'll find out in the next tape, things don't seem to be going all that well. So if we come upstairs and go into this room here, we can find the second holotape of her log, detailing her experience and what's happened since she injected herself.
Entry 6, R.A. Peters. It's March 1st. The subject has reached saturation threshold safely. Taking measurement now. Confirm 6 sieverts. Rapid fluid loss due to fever. Upped IV intake. All previous symptoms are still present. Tissue damage visible on arms, neck and hands. Necrotic sloughing of the skin. Topical and ingested antibiotics applied to control infection. Now injecting first dose of serum sample 42BA7 into bloodstream. No immediate effects observed. Animal trials yielded results in less than...
Finally, we can head upstairs, and on the top floor we can find a locked room. If we pick this lock, a glowing ghoul will come crawling over the top of this bookcase. Once we eliminate them, we can discover that this was most likely the person who has been leaving all these recordings. And in this room we can find the final holotape that details their tragic end.
Second dose of sample 42BA7, injected hours ago. No effect. I contacted the lab to terminate this trial, but I need a doctor. Hang on. What's that? Oh, my teeth. Oh, several teeth dislodged. Feels like necrotic tissue damage throughout oral cavity. Serum is ineffective at toxic levels. Request to terminate trial was... Orders are to remain in quarantine for the duration of the experimental period. I understand. understand. I'm going to die. That's obvious. It's right here. Our failure. If you would, Dr. Roberts, please deliver the following to my family. Mom, Dad, I love you. Yes, I volunteered for this. It sounds crazy, but I believed in it. There'll be nothing left worth bearing. Just know Oh, no. That's a bit too sentimental. Let me think about it.
You can only imagine how horrible her final moments must have been and what she must have thought. Did you know about this story? If not, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Leave a comment down below if you think this was the first pre-war Ghoul ever created. Some think it's Eddie Winter, some think it's Wayne Gorski. I personally think this may well be the first ever pre-war Ghoul. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.